Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. I am in, it's a little different situation tonight. I'm in my, at my desk and in my bedroom. Me. Huh? It's and not you.
And it's not me this time.
Not me.
Well, it might. No, I have that muted, so it can't be me. So anyway, I am here in my bedroom, and so I got this walled off back here where you can't see me, and or where you can't see. Well, actually, my wife's laying over there in bed watching her. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Oh,
she's listening. She's listening to
Actually, no, she's got her headphones on. She's got her iPad. And she's watching stuff on her iPad, so she's got her headphones on.
She's making you think she can't hear you.
Well, no, when I made the comment about the smoke alarm being the timer for food, she didn't say anything, so she couldn't hear me.
She will do something to the food next time.
Yeah, she didn't hear me. So anyway,
we're going to test that with something more relevant than the food alarm.
Yeah, it's easier for me to do the Corel tutorials here in my private chat. Yeah, here on this computer than it is in the others for several reasons. I try to keep my laptops for the shows that I mainly run the shows off of clean of programs. Every time you add a program to a computer, it slows it down, unless it's a badass computer, which one actually
entries all over the registry.
Which this computer that I have as my desktop is pretty badass. So anyway, so it slows the computer down. So I try to keep those laptops for the show clean without a lot of programs on them, just for that reason, so that they'll maintain their speed and I won't get lag in on my show and everything. So when I do one of these tutorials, Corel Draws on this computer, and so I have to do it here. And so I'm in here at my desk. We have Rick St. Louis, Frenzy Wicked Truth, Awesome Man. Hello, Awesome Man.
Hey, Bill.
Yep. John Elmy is over there on Facebook, and I'm going to be limited. I do have 3 42-inch monitors, but I am going to be limited as to what we're doing the control. What I can see, what I can see here, but yes. So I'll try to watch the chat as much. If y'all don't mind, help me do that. But we are going to be watching the chat in Facebook and on Twitch. Al, do you mind checking to see, making sure we're live over on Twitch for me?
I will. I'm right on it. I will.
John Elmy is over on Facebook, so I am getting the Facebook feed. That's good.
Simply
Aussie Man, all y'all are out there. I appreciate it very much.
I'll even host you on Kilroy 79763. How's that? Yes, we are live. We are live.
Cool. Okay, so but yes, I am going to be doing a Corel tutorial tonight, and I forgot my thing with my all my sponsors, but I tell you what, I do it every week, so you'd think I'd be able to remember it, but I can't remember all of them. I'd have to read the paper off of it. So I can do this though. Hold on, I just thought about something. I can go into my camera mic and change it to green screen, and I change it to this. Let's see if this works. That didn't work, did it?
You could just run the first few minutes of the last show.
Yeah. was hoping that would work, but it didn't. Oh well, I don't know what to say.
We can guess at them when we should be able to figure it out. Because I got Devolve Technology and
Devolve Technologies for web design, development, hosting. Visit Devolve.com. FastCap, innovative product for the professional woodworker. Go to FastCap.com. Who's after FastCap?
Klingspor?
Roxler. 50 years of working. Visit Rockler.com. Klingspor. Your sanding specialist.
There you go.
Seiko, the scroll saw specialist. Already did FastCap, innovative product for the professional woodworker.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And no scroll NATO, right?
No scroll NATO. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to him. He fell off the earth. It was a flat earth that he was following, so he was able to walk off the end. So anyway, let's go through and let everybody introduce themselves. And we got somebody back when I'll let him be last. So when we get to him, I'll joke with him for a few minutes. But Al, tell us where we can find you.
I'm Al Forte, Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop on YouTube, Kilroy79763 on Twitch. I stream at 2 p.m. on Twitch at Kilroy79763 and do the Nostalgia podcast shortly after this show on the Hobbies Woodshop channel on YouTube also. Anyway, it's great to be here amongst these awesome people in the chat. Anyway, here and there. Thank you.
Great. Jim.
Jim Bashir's Driveway Workshop. Thank you.
Oh, short and sweet.
I guess I took his time up, right?
Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
You're muted, Chris.
Oh, you're muted, Chris.
That's even shorter, isn't it?
Yep.
Of course I'm muted. See, I did the rules. I muted. So, anyways, Chris here from the Old Cranky Workshop. You find me on YouTube and Facebook. And you'll find my stuff at a little store called Coastal Flow. So, if you're in Florida, visit Coastal Flow.
Cool. Paul.
Paul Corliss, Paul's Messy Workshop. You can find me on YouTube, on Instagram, here on Saturday nights. And I just noticed that Dave Gatton is out in the chat on Facebook. Hi, Dave.
Cool.
Hello, Dave Gatton. Dave who?
Dixon
Hoffman. You can find me at hoffmansignsandDecals.com, and I do a lot of 3D printing. And you don't have to stay here, but oh no, wait, that's at the end of the show.
Yeah, you don't have to stay here, by the way. And we've got Donald back. Donald, you can unmute yourself.
Howdy, y'all.
Yeah, Donald's back.
Donald who?
Yeah, Donald Vlogs Files Wood Shop. Good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
I'm Donald Vlogs Files Wood Shop on YouTube. I got a website called Redneck Know How, and you find all my Instagram and Facebook links there.
Cool. It's been a while.
Yeah. I finally left that blue place.
Yeah. Injuries caused you to have to leave, right?
It was that and aggravation.
Yeah. That and aggravation. Too funny.
It was one of them situations where I probably endured the pain for the money, but the aggravation was just
cool.
As they were getting stupid about stuff.
It tipped the scale, in other words. Yeah. I can imagine. I couldn't imagine working in one of those places. I worked retail for a little while, and when I was younger, tried it, and it's just not for me.
I was already hurting, and then they talking about getting more help, but each month you having to cover another department. And that store's too big for me to walk around with my bad problems.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Question for you though. The problems that you have are similar to mine, right? You have sciatica, and you also
bulging disc.
Yeah, bulging disc.
Arthritis back there too.
Yeah, arthritis. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, I forgot about the arthritis.
I don't know how much those hoses at the fire department weighed, but I was working in the meat department slinging 100-pound cases of meat up above my head and stuff like that. So that's about where mine worked up from.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine was from 30 years of working with the fire department, all the hose. Well, first off, your self-contained breathing apparatus back in the day when I was a fireman was a steel bottle. So the unit weighed between 45 and 50 pounds. That's strapped on your back on your shoulders. Your other gear weighs about 50 pounds. So you're walking around with 100 pounds on your body automatically with nothing else. Your gloves, your helmet, the air packet. Now you're dragging hose, which I think a 50-foot section of 1.5 inches with water in it weighs like 120 pounds.
Yeah.
A hearse tools, you can add another 100 pounds if you have to cut somebody out of a car. So, yeah, just years of heavy lifting.
I imagine having to be a contortionist with all that weight on you.
Yeah, it took the toll on my back. So over the years, and so I know exactly what you're going through. The good thing is I didn't tell anybody because we didn't have the show after I had the results from my MRI. Is I don't have to have surgery. T 10, 11, and 12 have compression fractures. That means at one point in time, the vertebra was compressed and it gave it a compression fracture. It kind of like squashes the bone. Well, the bones never go back fully 100%. So therefore, that gives you back pain automatically. And then L4 and L5 have analogals, or a particular name for it. But anyways, it's a bulging disc. And L4 is on both sides are bulging, and therefore both my right and left sciatic nerve are being aggravated, so to speak.
So I skipped the fractures, thank God. but I have those bulging discs. I think it's 6, 5, and 6. I'm not sure. One of them's on my lip.
If it has to be L4, if it's your sciatic nerve.
Well, it's L4 then.
Okay,
L4,
yeah.
L5. When I go to the doctor, they mumble off numbers like that. I'm like, just fix it up.
Well, it helps that I was a paramedic, so I had to take anatomy.
But and the actual pain in my back, I can deal with. But when it hits that sciatica, my leg starts wanting to feel like it's twisting, and you can have that.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Sometimes it feels, and I'm not trying to be funny or describe this in any other way, but sometimes on my right leg, it feels like somebody's taking a hot poker and just shoving it right in my ass, right there in my hip bone, in other words.
And that's me, and they're trying to twist my leg off while they're doing it.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, when I first went to my doctor, I had to change doctors. And when I first went to my doctor, he gave me an examination. And you know how you sit on the table and they take that little hammer and hit you in the knee, and your leg, are supposed to jump. Well, he hit my right knee. It didn't move. He hit it again, and it didn't move. And he goes, "What the heck's wrong with you?" And I looked at him and said, "Sciatica." And he goes, "That's about the worst case I have ever seen." I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, for you not to have any reaction on your right knee like that." I said, "It's bad. Trust me. I know."
My left one, it'll jump a little bit, but it won't straighten out like it's supposed to.
Yeah. I feel your pain. Trust me. I feel your pain.
So, I mean, there was that, and the doctor told me that, and he said he was telling me that if I continued working, I would probably end up having to need surgery because it was going to herniate. So that was in a decision, and I got thinking about it, and it's like I'm fully disabled as it is with my liver and stuff. Why am I killing myself here?
Yes.
So I just cut, I decided I could do my pins and stuff and make enough money to fill in the extra, and it won't be as much as I was getting, but it'll get me by.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, you have to do what you got to do. That's for sure. I understand. I know Jim has been through a whole. He's over here. He's over that way. Yeah, Jim's been through a lot, but yours has all been your cervical spine.
No, I had L4 and L5 fused, and then I had
L4 and
L3 and
L5 fused?
L4 laminectomy, so I had part of it pulled out, and then I had discs implants put in between 4 and 5 and 5 and 6 in my neck, and then those failed, and the one below it herniated, so I had to have that one fused, and then I had to have the other thing fused around the 2 implants.
What
So I've
kind of
had
wild
5
women
back
you been
surgery.
with?
Hey, when you were describing that hot shooting pain, sticking stuff up, whatever, I was going to ask you what bars you went to. That sounded a little
Don't ask.
weird.
Back in the day, there was a few.
I'll find the picture. It should be interesting. Hang on. And
Yeah,
make everybody's stomach turn.
Now, yours came from an accident, though, did it not, Jim?
No, just bad genes and working in a steel mill for 17 years.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, that'll do it to you also. That will definitely do it to you also. So, all right.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
I
That's
mean,
like 3 different surgeries right there.
man, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not doing too good right now. But
Yeah,
that's why I'm not being a smart aleck like Al is normally.
And Jim and a couple of people were another reason for my decision, because it seemed like they go in for one surgery,
Yeah.
and it just kept on and kept on. You know, forget that.
Yeah, Jim's been one of those.
I'll tell you though, if you have part of your disc is rubbing against the sheath on the outside of your nerves, and you don't get it fixed, your nerve will get just completely whacked out, and you'll never recover from it.
Right.
So
and
if
that's
it's a
one of the
sheath
things.
problem, get it fixed.
That's one of the things you have to think about what's happening, is because he's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the doctor was worried about with my sciatic nerve. It was if it starts rubbing into the sheath and causes damage to the sheath, that's irreversible nerve repair. In other words, it might get better, but it'll never heal. Nerves don't heal. And so that's the reason he wanted the MRI, to see how bad it actually was. And because that rubbing right there against it, it's not good. There's no way. So I will tell you a horror story. I had a friend of mine that worked for the fire department, and this was in the early 80s, 83, 84, and they had a garbage truck catch on fire, and the garbage truck, where they were trying to get him. They were trying to dump the load out of the garbage truck before it burnt the whole truck up. And so they were pulling stuff and doing stuff and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, he ended up herniating 2 or 3 in his disc in his lower back, like L3, L4, L5 or whatever. And he was in so much pain, they had to do an operation. He never walked again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he never walked again. The last time I saw him, he had the arm, kind of like what you use, Chris, the crutches with the arm holds on them. Yeah, that he had those. Yeah, he had those, and then he ended up. The last time I talked to him, he was totally in a mobility scooter. In other words, so.
Luckily with mine, after I got off that concrete floor a couple of weeks later, I really haven't had any problem with the leg thing anymore. Every once in a while, when I'm standing on above that shop smith, because it's lower than your standard lathe, I'm kind of hunched over a little bit. It'll act up a little bit, but I go sit down.
Yeah, you get in a certain position, and it lets you know real quick, like, you ain't stand here. You better move. John Elmy says, I know how you feel. I have had a AC DF567. I don't know what that is. Anybody
That's a
know?
disc fusion.
Oh, disc
interior, whatever the neck is, C.
Ooh, that don't sound good.
DF is disc fusion. Cervical,
that don't.
Anterior cervical disc fusion.
Ooh, that don't sound good. Just listening.
That's it. Just what I showed you on the camera.
Yeah.
It's a disc fusion or ACDF.
Fusion don't sound good for any part of the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they start going to initials like that, you got to watch out. You know it's bad.
Yeah.
So what's the topic for today?
Yeah,
It is
Back
Corel.
pain.
It is, yeah, back pain. Well, I don't have a whole lot to do, but yeah, we're going to do some Corel. A couple of people ask, and I think we already figured out Paul's problem on his. He's going to have to spend some money for an upgrade on his Corel Draw.
yeah.
Well, see, he learned something already. I mean,
Yeah,
he did.
he already were, and we'll talk about that. So let me do this because it takes. It's StreamYard is not how you would say user friendly when it comes to sharing screen and to make the screen full so you can see everything. So StreamYard is not good for that. Actually, I like the other one, ABS, I think it is, or whatever.
OBS.
OBS.
OBS. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, OBS, OSB, whatever. I
that,
like those better.
That's wood.
Yeah. But then I wouldn't have the panel with me. I wouldn't have all these guys with me. So, yeah.
And how would you live like that?
That's right. That's right.
Brian Warner said he's had a heart catheter and stents in the last week of this month. Oh, man. Wow, Brian Warner. That's no fun. John Elmy said neck surgery. Oh, that's neck surgery. That's what he was talking about. So
check out what Dan Engie said. Yeah.
Dan Engie, where's he at?
He said they made spacers from cadaver bones and fused them together, C3 through 6 in my pack. So he's a bona fide Walking Dead.
They took bone out of my hip.
That's how the apocalypse started.
Oh, they took a bone out of your hip and did that?
Yeah, they cut bone out of my hip to do that. And usually, if it's like in your lower back, they'll do something called a cage. And it's a dissolvable. It's like a dowel that has a bunch of holes in it, and then they push a bunch of medicine into that makes bone grow, and they'll push those cages into there and put the screws and the plates over it, and your bone grows like really fast right over the top of them.
It's amazing.
But they don't do that in your neck for some reason. I was kind of surprised. I woke up and I got this big cut on my hip. I'm like, dang, man.
James Parker said he had a tractor tire fall on me in 1983 and spent 6 months in the hospital and was told he would never walk again. But the doctor came through with a great surgery. That's good. That is awesome. All right, so we're going to go to the Corel Draw. First thing I have to do is go through, and let me make sure I got Corel Draw pulled up. Yes. And the first thing I have to do is screen share. And I have to pick the screen that I'm on. And then I have to really quick move it over out of the way so you can see my desktop. This is my desktop. And I have to...
If you need help with that, just let me know, Russ.
Just ask Paul. He's the expert.
Hey, what are those things on your desktop pictures?
My desktop pictures. Those are all my links.
No. The picture that is on your desktop of the undersea stuff.
Oh, that's just the wallpaper.
Oh, dang. I wanted to hear you say anemone.
No, that's just my wallpaper. I like that. I love Microsoft wallpapers, man. I go and download all their wallpapers. I have in the wintertime. I have fall and winter schemes and everything. It's like awesome. Oh, you want to see it again?
God, my own eye with a camera.
Yeah, I think that's what he was getting at.
Yeah, he wants to see it again. So, all right. So full screen layout. So there we go. There we have it. This is a picture that I downloaded. This is going to be from my laser. This is a picture that I downloaded. I just found it on the internet and downloaded it, and I'm actually going to trace it now. I tried. Here, let me do this. If you're working on a project and you're going to be making some changes that could be drastic changes on that project, I would duplicate the page and work on another page. So I may have like this kitchen design right here that I want to cut from my laser. I may have 5 or 6 or 7 pages in different stages of doing this. The reason being is if I want to make changes and the changes don't work and I can't reverse that change, I can just go back to the page before and don't have to worry about it. Really, it's really easy. You just go down here. You'll see down here at the bottom, see page 1, right click and say duplicate page. And you do want to make a change here that you want, because Corel Draw works in layers. So you want all the layers and all of their contents to be copied. So you want to change this from layers only to contents and layers and click OK. So now I have 2 of these pages exactly alike. So if I'm working on the first one and I mess up and I can't reverse it, I have the second one. And you can go on and on and on. You can have 30 pages right here. That's just an easy way of saving your stuff. Now, that being said, I went in here and I can do this now. I can delete this. Sometimes, and I've said this before, I just want to go over this real quick. Like sometimes you can do what is called a outline trace line art. And you can adjust all these settings and everything, and it'll do a trace for you. And so here is my trace. Here is the original. But you get all these artifacts and stuff, and the lines, and you can get them better than this. But if I wanted to do this for a scroll saw pattern, I know that this is a squiggly line. I can just cut right across this, but this is not going to work for a laser, because a laser is going to do that jig jag.
Hey, can I stop you a second?
Yes.
Russ? Brian Warner had a question. He says, why not just do it in Lightburn? To kind of give you a little history about what's going on tonight, Paul and I wanted Russ to do a Corel Draw class because I bought an upgrade kit for my Shape Oko to change it from a little one to a real big size one. And Paul was, wanting to see it too. So we kind of
they're doing CNC stuff.
Yeah, we're doing CNC stuff. So
right. So I just thought
it's just as applicable for laser, though. You're right. Okay, sorry.
Yes, no. I'm glad you. No, if you see a question out there, interrupt me, because I can't do this and do that. And you're right, Brian. You could do this in Lightburn, and I want to tell you, Lightburn has a much better trace feature, and I ain't figured that out. One guy made Lightburn. He created a little company and started Lightburn and made it. And his trace feature kicks Corel's butt. I'm talking about, and you're talking about a company that's been doing this for years.
Hey,
I
Russ,
was like, really? Yes.
Can you go up when you go up under View and pick wireframe? Doesn't that just make an outline?
It does.
Of it, and then you can drag or import that into your.
Yes.
Oh, you still have all the garbage on there, though, don't you?
Yeah. Yes, you still do have all the garbage on it. And so that's why I was just going to talk about that real quick. Now you can do this ungroup and then move this over. Or here, let me do this again. Control Z is your friend. Control Z takes it back. You can do
Control Z is the universal undo.
Control Z. There we go. Ungroup all, and you can move this over and get rid of. Well, it didn't ungroup all of it for some reason. That's weird. Oh, there it goes.
Can you convert it to a bitmap and get rid of that?
No.
No.
It is a bitmap file, but see the junk that was behind it?
Yeah.
All the colors. It took that out, but it still leaves these squiggly lines. So if you go back to your view and they go wireframe like you were talking about before, see the laser's going to pick all it up. Actually, depending on what you're doing as a CNC, it will pick that up. If you're doing V-carve with a very fine V bit, like a 60 degree, that will show up on a VCAR bit also.
So the only way you can get rid of that then is go into node editing and get rid of all those nodes.
The only way you can do it is actually, yes, go to
Yeah, mostly 90% of your programs it's called cleanup work. You gotta clean your vector up.
well, I'm gonna have to go way back because I messed everything up really big time. I have mine set to infinity.
Infinity and beyond.
Yeah. You as normal. There we go. Yeah. See I'm going in here and doing now is I'm actually noding, editing, and here. Let me change this. Grab all the nodes, go up here, and it says convert all those nodes to curves. And then I can come back and grab this and come over and follow the path.
Oh.
Awesome.
So you don't have to add a node. You can just drag the center between the two nodes over.
Yes.
I thought you had to add a node in there.
That's what I thought too.
Let me go back here and change. Since we're in here, let me go back here and copy this. I just want the insert a page after, paste. All right, here's the original as a bitmap. No, I can go in here and I go to my pen tool, which is right up here.
Okay.
All right. Now I want to start making a line, but the line's black. So I'll go over here and right click and it turns it to yellow so I can see it. And that's a fat line. I want a hairline. And so what you simply do is go around here.
But didn't you do that before just by bringing the nodes up and then straightening it out?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. This is how you do it. You start off doing this, and then you go around your whole thing.
Yeah, you have to do a manual trace. That's what he's doing right now. A manual trace, and then you straighten them out.
And then what you do is go in and grab all these nodes once you have it all manually traced out, and click the curves, and then you come and straighten them out.
So there's nothing that traces it automatically.
Well, yes, I did the trace, but you remember that's when we found all the artifacts.
Right. So sometimes it's quicker just to do a manual trace like you are, and then straighten them out.
That way you can control how many nodes you have.
Exactly.
Pay attention, Paul.
I'm trying.
Because here's the thing, I have done it so long now. It won't take. I could do this total thing in nodes and edit it and have it ready in probably 10 minutes. That's how quick I am now because I'm so proficient at using this. And then now this can be turned into a laser pattern. It can be turned into a CNC pattern. It can be turned into a scroll saw pattern. You just go around.
So now you can go in between those nodes and grab the line and pull it out.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. See how it is
right
now? As soon as I touch that line, I get what looks like a squiggly S.
Yeah.
That's telling me I'm on the line and it can be edited. I click left mouse click down and I drag it to where I want it.
Okay. Cool.
I go to the line. I see the squiggly S. Left mouse click, drag it to where I want it.
Now those lines are actually on top of the original.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are. They're on top of the original.
Okay, but so we can let them off the hook now, Paul, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So if you even for a CNC project, like I was telling you before, I know I've done it. I created a tree of life. And when I cut it out, it was only going to be like a little over a 1/16 of an inch. I forgot how many millimeters a 1/16 is. It's like 3 millimeters. It was only going to be like 2 or 3 millimeters down. And when I created the tree of life, you see how this is zigzag? It had all that zigzags in it. And I'm like, what the heck did that come
Right.
from? I didn't put that in there. So when I went back and looked, even though I had traced it in Corel Draw, when I zoomed in, I saw all those little zigzag lines that I showed you before.
Is that because that's not a vector or a vector drawing?
It is a vector drawing, and it's following those vector lines back and forth.
Oh,
This
I'll tell
is
you, I was really surprised when I got the latest Carbide Create program, that all the stuff that they've done to it, man, it's just really, it's nice. It's not anywhere near like VCarve or Aspire or something like that, but you can do a lot of stuff with it. What's the one for the Al? What's that? The CNC you've got?
Easel for the X-Carve.
Easel, yeah.
Easel
This
is
is
really,
getting up.
really good, but it doesn't have all these nice features. And if you take and import SVGs, then you can't edit them in Easel. You have to edit them in the original program.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Easel's good for, I don't know.
all right. So
Something
let's go to some simple things, like for instance, a name. For you're talking about going to do a CNC.
Okay.
All right. Very simple. I'm going to carve some of these names. All right. So when you're using, you have to be very, very careful in what you are trying to do as far as CNC work. For instance, Brian Warner has a very good, will the smooth function smooth it all out? Brian, it will help, but it won't take it all out. And sometimes I do if it's like a lot of long lines, and I'll show that function in just a little bit if y'all will remind me. So Brian, don't forget about that. Remind me of the smooth function. Corel Draw has a smooth here. Let me go back and show it again. This. All right. See how these lines are not smooth right through here? They're kind of square. You see what I'm saying?
yep.
They're not really smooth. Well, you have a smooth function. You can go up here and grab these nodes, and you have smooth node and you have symmetrical node. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and watch these nodes, what happens to them when I go through the smooth node stage. See how it made them smooth? All around?
Yep.
Here, let's go back. Control Z. Where they were before. That's smooth node. It helps. But wherefore lies the problem is now I no longer have the function of being able to grab this line and pull it. Look what happens to the other lines.
It's like if you had a Bezier curve on it.
Exactly. It changes them all to Bezier curves. Personally, I don't like that. Okay. Now, what I have found out that I will do is once I go through and straighten these things out to the position that I want them in, I want to do this one on purpose. See how that's got a little hump? Rather than messing around with it and trying to straighten it out, I'll just grab it and go, hey, smooth that node out for me. And actually S will, on the control, will smooth it. Now, this is called a cuspid node. A Bezier curve is like this.
Okay, while you're playing with the bicuspid, the cuspid,
Bicuspid.
you know how the tangents like come off and you can reach out and grab
Yes.
the tangents on it?
Yes, this.
So what exactly is that doing for you? I don't want to throw you off from
No,
the thought
but
process
it
of what
is
you're
all
doing
right.
now, but-
So, all right, this tangent is controlling part halfway. You want to say halfway of this curve right here. So as I bring this in, see how it's shortening it? and I bring it out, it's longevity. But
Okay.
notice where this tangent is. See how it's staying there?
Yeah.
So if I bring this one out, now you see what it's doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like working with the tangents. I would much rather work with, and let's go back to this node and change it back to a cusped node. A cusped node only works in one direction, which is what I want it to do, like this. See the difference?
Yeah. Yep.
I
That
can
makes
move
more
this.
sense now.
Yes, I can move this node over to here. Now,
Then
see,
can you pull that other node down where you want it?
yeah, you can move this node anywhere you want. But now, watch this. This is where the smooth node comes in.
Oh, okay. But now you can't do anything with it.
No,
again.
you can change. Well, no, you just go back to it, click on it, and change it to a cusped node.
So you can
No,
go back and forth.
You can go back and forth all day long.
It's not, you haven't changed anything
no,
permanently.
Exactly. It's not permanent. Yes. But when you get proficient at tracing these, you'll find out that it's quicker to trace them than it is just to mess around with that other. Yeah. So I mean, there are technical terms for all these things. I don't know the technical terms. I'm just telling you the layman terms. This is how I use them. But yes, you have a smooth, and then you have a symmetrical. So if I grab this node right here and changed it symmetrical, it basically, to me, it's the same thing as smooth or the Bezier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of any difference. Oh, I do notice the difference. I never paid attention to that before until just right now. Notice when I change one, the other one changes in the same.
Yeah, it moves in with it.
Yes.
They
There's
go in the same direction then.
Sharper image.
exactly. I just learned something myself. I never knew the difference between those two. Well, I'll be darned.
So
See
how
what my
would you
presence
fix,
does
like,
for you?
Do what?
See what my presence does for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're inspired.
All hail the Donald.
All right, let's go back to the name. All right. So when you're using a VBit, okay, there's things that you have to think about when you're creating your design, for instance. The wider the font, okay, once you turn, if I was to turn this into, if I was to go in here right now and say, take this, and I want to go over and V-carve it and export this as, let's just say, JJJJJ as a DXF, so I can import it into VCarve Pro, right?
Yep.
Yep.
What is going to happen is the VBit is going to follow down the center of this. So when you look at fonts, the wider the font, guess what?
The deeper it's going to cut.
The deeper it's going to cut.
Unless you limit how deep it can cut, and then it's going to make multiple passes.
Yes, that will happen also. But why not just go ahead in the design stage and make it a narrow font? Then because Arial has narrow, that's italic. So it wouldn't be the same as Arial
Bold. Yeah.
See the difference?
Yep.
So those are some of the things when you're designing things for cutting in VCarve or even Aspire. It has the same problem. When you're designing them, wider is deeper. The wider the font, the deep, and the lines you're going to be doing.
Even if you're doing like a stepped V-carve, though? Because I know I was looking through Carbide Create, it has this thing where you can limit the amount off of like the face of the material or whatever down how far it'll go when it's
Yes.
doing like a stepped V like that.
Yeah, but then it'll make multiple passes to get that width.
Exactly.
Yep.
Where if
Okay.
you-
All right. I see where you're going with it. Okay.
Right. So if you go ahead and design it in the design as this is a narrow, let's say I want this Russ only as 1/8 of an inch, but yet if you measure this across, it's bigger than 1/8 of an inch in design. But if I go back down to aerial narrow, there's my 1/8 of an inch. I didn't have to change anything in VCarve.
Mhm.
Yeah, normally you'd use the vectors, but what you're doing is you're building in the ease for you just to have.
Yeah,
one
in the
thing.
design, you're taking
Yeah.
out a lot of the steps
Yeah.
that you would need to do in
Mhm.
VCarve or
that
whatever
way
by,
you don't have
in
to-
the design.
That way you don't have to pocket. You don't have to, I don't know, whatever else there is. But yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's
I'm
one of the things.
looking forward to getting back into it. It seems like
Now,
it'd be a lot of fun.
if some of these letters, I mean, and when you're designing some of these too, the font, the way it puts it, I love using Corel Draw. What's the Adobe equivalent for Corel Draw? Adobe,
Photoshop? No.
no,
PageMaker.
no.
No, it's just like GIMP, only it's the other one.
Yeah.
I can't think of the other. Anyway,
Illustrator.
Adobe Illustrator is it, and
GIMP.
Corel Draw are almost identical. No, GIMP is a raster graphics. This is
Yeah.
vector graphics.
Inkscape is
Adobe Illustrator,
Inkscape.
There you go.
That's
Inkscape.
it. That's it.
Any one of these three. Now, Adobe is a little bit above, not much, because Corel has been really trying to catch up to Adobe. Adobe is a little bit, Illustrator is a little bit above Corel, and then Inkscape is on the bottom of the list of these three. But if you can use Inkscape proficiently, you can do, I would say, 98% of everything that you can do in these others, because Corel and Illustrator just have bells and whistles that makes life so much easier. That's all I'm saying is it just makes life so much easier. Now, when you design this again and you look at it and you're like, well, these letters look a little too close for me. And I like mine spread a little bit apart myself. If you'll go up here to the shape tool and click on it when it's a letter form, you can kernel these letters. So you can separate them a little bit.
Can you do one at a time, or do you have to ungroup them?
No, you can also do that also. You can, like, see the little block?
Yep.
Click on it and go right arrow key
All right.
Oh, that's cool.
down. So essentially, I could make my own little.
Crazy Russ font.
Yeah, crazy.
See,
Yeah.
so you can do that. That's really a nice feature. And then this here,
A wavy Russ.
yeah, a wavy Russ. We need to go back to.
The beginning.
Go back. Sometimes it says,
Okay, hey, if you're gonna retype the name in, we've got a request for a name.
Yes.
Out.
Yes.
Where's Frenzy?
oh, she wants to see hers.
Yeah,
Yeah, she wants to see her name.
capital F.
Frenzy Wicked Truth.
Yeah, Frenzy's name. So it'd be a capital F, small REN,
Yeah.
capital Z, and a Y.
But I always put Lady Frenzy Wicked Truth in front of that.
Well, we're not.
All right. So what
back
else?
Into the English thing here. But
What else can I show you for CNC?
Well, if you import a picture
Yes.
yeah, let's do that.
and you want to make like like a wireframe type thing where it's just an outline, and import that into VCarve.
A wireframe thing?
Yeah, like that dog I had that I brought up.
Yeah, you always want
I
a
want to
black
make
and white
I want to
image.
make an outline of it. I want to make an outline and import that outline
Okay.
into VCarve.
Let me try to see if I can see 1A CNC.
If you want, you'd be better off bringing that, as long as it's a nice, crisp, black and white image, bring that right into VCarve and just do an auto trace.
And just do it in there and not mess with Corel.
You can do that, yes.
Yes.
And there was a question way ahead up in chat about software pricing. If the more you pay for software, you're going to get an excellent auto trace. It all depends, like
Yes.
Inkscape is free.
Yes.
My sign software is LXI Vinyl Express. Well, it came with the plotter. It was a $5,000 software. Well, that's going to do a beautiful auto trace.
What's a Spire cost now?
It's about $1,200 more than VCarve Pro.
Yeah, and
You got
VCarve
VCarve Pro, Phil? Al?
Yeah.
Or not Al, but Paul?
VCarve does a pretty good auto trace. You just got to clean it up a little bit.
The only difference, the only thing you can do in Aspire that you can't do in VCarve Pro is design 3D stuff. But if you take an Aspire file that's already 3D, you can print it and from using VCarve Pro.
All right.
But
This
you
is
can do 3D carving with VCarve, though, can't you?
no.
Yes.
You can,
Yes,
but
yes, you
not
can.
like you can with Aspire.
You can
Right.
you can print it, but you can't design it.
Right.
And you can't change it.
Right. All right. So let's go back with this. Remember what I was telling you about before, Paul? When you click to import and you say import, see how it comes up with this little thing right here?
Yep. That puts
Right.
it where you want it.
If you will hit enter, it will put it in the center of the page.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, all you have to do is hit enter. Yeah, this is some stuff I did for my kids for on the laser and stuff. So this is what you're talking about, wanting to take this and going into.
No, I'm talking about like a something that like a picture or a
You can't use a colored JPEG or nothing because it's gonna be so bad when you do the auto trace. You'd be there forever cleaning it up if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Paul. Yeah, you can't. You could even have a $5,000 software. I have one, and you can bring in a JPEG, and there's no way. It has to. That's why a pencil drawing or a clean black and white image is always the best to start with.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find something in here.
Like that picture that Russ just had on his screen, that's going to do a cleaner auto trace than any other images.
Yes.
I'm not sure how well it'll work, but you can take a regular image JPEG and run it into one of your photo editing softwares that has a pencil drawing filter on it.
Yes,
and you can play with it, around with it a little bit, and sometimes get a decent one. But a lot of that kind of depends on the lighting and the picture, how well it gets.
All right. This is something that I did for my son. Okay. He wanted to do for his girlfriend, I love you to Pluto and back. Now, because I know Corel Draw 10 times better than I do VCarve, or actually I have Aspire. I know, so I brought this into here, and then this. It's a photo. Yeah, open it with photos. Was the end project that I VCarved.
Oh, it turned out nice.
Yeah.
See, that's where my ex would have said, only to Pluto?
Yeah.
And is that Pluto the planet or the X planet? I mean, which one?
Or is it the dog?
Yeah.
Or is it
Not
the
even
dog?
a planet?
Yeah.
Here we go.
You know what toilet paper and Star Trek have in common, don't you?
The Klingon!
Yeah,
Klingon!
they both circle around Uranus collecting Klingons.
Hey, I like me some Klingon women.
So this is what I did, but you see, I wasn't that good at the time, so I was able to bring that in and then change that. And I just exported this. I just grabbed a hold of it and said, File, Export. Now, here's the thing. You can take it to where I'm just going to put this on the desktop, my desktop. But you go down here, Save as Type. Now, these are all the different files that you can export out of Corel Draw. It has a ton of them. One of them is deep. Now, the first 5 or 6 you see here are the ones I use the most. I'm constantly using PNG, DXF, JPEG, SVG, and PDF.
What's the advantage of using one type over another?
DXF is actually the best for VCarve. It gives it more information. It's an AutoCAD file. It gives it more information on, I'm not sure all what it's giving it, but it's giving it more information for the actual cut.
And you can import and export DXF in most all CAD programs.
Yes. The next one would be what you're doing, Paul, would be the SVG.
SVG. Okay.
Yes, scalable vector. That would be the best next one that I would say for VCarve Pro. So I could export this as the SVG and then import it into there also.
Okay, but when we were in the pre-show, Paul said he couldn't export something
because
into
he's
a
using
DXF
the
file
home.
because he has.
Yeah,
I can't export
just to let
to
people-
DXF.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to let people know that. So
this is another one that I did for my son. See, I have a Spire. What did it say?
you got me. There we go.
Failed to open. Okay, I don't know why it would fail to open that. Let's try this one.
Could it be because you already got that one open?
Possible.
No, I don't have it opened. I'm going to have to check into that. Aspire is not letting me open certain things.
We can't see it, by the way. We're still looking.
No, you can't see it. I'm looking at it off screen because I'm trying to open it. This is a file that I have of things that I 3D printed on.
What's the file extension though?
The file extension?
Yeah, because in VCarve you can do 6 different open files, and then there's import files.
It's a CRV 3D, actual VCarve.
Yep, CRV. You should be able to open it.
Yeah, see, it's a.
Yep, you should be able to open
What
it.
it's telling me. It's a CRV 3D.
What is it saying? I can't see the error message.
Here, I'll do it one more time.
Yeah, because VCarve you can import.
It's saying fail
4 different
open file, D pictures, wood patterns, ICNC, Marine Corp, globe anchor, CRV 3D code. You give me a code.
Huh.
When you get a code, that's not
What's
good.
the code, Russ?
I don't know. Hold on. I want to try something different.
Just right click and hit properties, and then you'll know right away why.
Comes up and says none of your business.
None yet. It'll say none
Well,
yet.
I'm curious now. You got me curious as to.
Are you trying to open it? Try importing it.
Well, if you would give me a second.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I can blow your minds.
Well, blow our minds.
You could ask me how.
That's a Thursday show though. How? How?
You could take any two-dimensional without a spire. You can take any two-dimensional image and carve it three-dimensional without, and I'm not talking about using the Z-axis and V-carve. This is something I've done years ago back when they didn't have V-carve and all these other fancy softwares. And what you do is, I can show you on paper
It's
how it
still
works.
telling me fail to open.
Very interesting.
Trying to see your extensions, but yeah,
It's
might
code
have to pick a different one.
126663.
You got some conflict going because maybe the other software is open or something.
Yeah, it must be.
Is it a .fu file? Maybe that's it.
I got it right away.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got it too.
Try
Oh,
open it in another window.
I wasn't going to say that until somebody else.
You know, it's a
But you did.
Sorry, it's oxycodone and
I
fear.
haven't upgraded this version in a while. I'm still at version 10.0.19 Aspire. But that still shouldn't stop me. Here, let's try this.
Yeah, if you do one on that screen, it has to
Oh.
open.
That's a new
Uh,
color.
Okay,
There.
here's what I found on error code. I'm trying to help someone with Aspire. When I tried to open it, emailed, and there was an error code 12663. What does this code mean? The first thing it says is verify that he has a licensed legal copy of Aspire. Verify that the file was copied completely, or completely copied. Also.
You didn't move any files around, did you? That would be one way it went
Yeah.
open.
Well, I don't know if I moved, but I know I have a license expire.
No,
Aspire.
but I'm just saying that's the first thing that came up. So contact Patrick
See
support.
here, Simply Wooden Creations, Russ Clearly, full
Yeah.
license.
There you go.
I
Well,
would blame it on Windows
Expire,
upgrades.
expire.
So, Aspire is the program that costs a couple $1,000s and is working wonderfully.
Aspire is like about $3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $1,200 more than VCarve Pro.
So I'm
and
going to have
it's
to
working lovely.
yeah, it may be that it got flagged
Flags every
somehow.
penny of it.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Maybe you should have bought the $4,000 upgrade.
Well, I guess I won't be opening these files tonight. So anyway,
Take them off the sponsor list.
Close
Yeah,
that guy
really.
right there and then try and open it.
The
Well, I
problem
was
is it's
gonna
a snooty program.
Right.
It ain't going to work with
Right.
that cheap
You-
Corel Draw.
You ain't going to be able
Yeah.
to do what you want. You want that
yeah, let me just
It-
close Corel Draw.
import
all
and
the way out.
export.
Back to
Let
the
me
kitchen.
save this though. Yeah, I want to
So
save this file.
contact Vectric support at support@vectric.com with the
Yeah, that's
description.
what I'll have to do is
Make sure you note that we were trying to do this on a live stream and it locked up, and now people are not going to buy your program.
yeah. I haven't used this. I haven't done well. The piece of crap CNC that I have, I haven't used Aspire in so long because the piece of crap CNC that I have don't work half the time. So I got tired of messing with it, and then I decided I was going to buy a brand spanking new.
Well, that looks just like the coronavirus.
Yeah, it does kind of, don't it?
Except
All
it
right,
has a
so
mouth.
let's go ahead and
3,
open
4, 5,
Aspire.
6.
See, I have VCarve Pro too. Here, let me go back and show you. See, this is VCarve Pro.
Try it
I
in
have-
VCarve.
It won't open a Aspire file.
Stuck
So
up.
just out of curiosity, let's say open an existing file, and we'll go back to Jesus with a cross. It's still giving me the code.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
probably
know.
just some pointers are messed up or something.
Yeah, I got to figure out.
Drivers, yeah. All right, try the V-carve then. If the Aspire don't open, try V-carve.
Yeah.
VCarve should open an Aspire file.
Or just hit one of the recent files.
want to go there. I want to go back to my pictures.
Yeah, get out of the porn directory.
I don't have one of those.
Right
so
out
I'm
of
not
that
worried about it.
It's all online.
He's got 3 of them.
I don't have one of those. This is my. If you'll notice, it says pictures, wood patterns,
Okay.
and then I have for CNC. Here's a 3D. Let's try clip art 3D. No, see, it's not going to open a VCarve will not open an Aspire file.
No. Okay, I got one thing you can try, and I think it'll work in Aspire.
Here, VCarve. Let's see what's here. Let's see if it'll open the Faith, Hope, and Love. There was an actual VCarve file. Now VCarve's working.
It looks good. Good.
Cool. We like working.
Yeah, VCarve's working.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
All right, close that out and go to your Aspire.
Hold on, let me do. How do you do? It's been so long since I've done this. How do I run this to show what it's going to look like when it cuts?
You got to go click on the right hand side, that little icon where like you're gonna. Yep, there you go. You got to go over to the side. That side. Yeah, over there. There you go. Now you go down and you'll be able to
simulate it. Yeah.
Simulate it.
Preview to tool pass. There we go.
And then you'll be able to actually tip it and rotate it and.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not doing anything.
Did you pick the tool paths?
Yeah, you hadn't toolpath it at all. You had.
Yep, there you go. Check mark the toolpath. Oh, no.
Hold on.
Ding.
Right there.
Now go back over to the other side.
Yeah, once you hit that little pin so that stays out, and then don't check mark them toolpaths down on the bottom now. See them 2 boxes?
Oh, I see it.
Check
now.
mark that.
Yeah.
There you go. Now check mark. Now hit the run.
Now run it. Yes. It still didn't do it.
It still didn't do it.
You got to do the run the selected tool paths.
Right.
There.
But they're not checked right now. He needs to
Check
check
them
it.
tool paths.
The top one, not the top box.
Not
or
that one. Not that. Right there. Preview tool paths.
I'm being quiet.
Well, there you go, smart ass. It didn't work.
Well, your program is
guess.
screwed up.
Well, you're obviously something's wrong. Yes, I agree with you.
That's why I didn't
agree.
spend $1,200 on
Okay,
this
wait,
one.
Russ.
was fun.
Don't click
Hold on,
on that.
I want to go back. I want to go
Don't
back.
click on that. It's not going to work.
Oh
Ah,
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
okay,
still giving me error.
now close it all, Russ. Just do this one. Close it off. Close it up. Now put your cursor on top of Aspire. Now right click. No, on top of Aspire. Right. Now is there a file there that you should be able to open?
No.
No. Okay, it's not gonna work then. Now go to VCarve. Go to VCarve. Hover, right click. You're right clicking, aren't you?
Yep.
Yep. It's not working right. When I go onto my VCarve or any of them and I right click, all the last files I had open, like 20 of them, they'll show up.
I'll have to get a hold of. That's kind of like you're. Actually, Donald said that's paid enough for this. I want
It
this thing
should
work.
work. Support at vetric.com. Email them.
Yeah, because it's licensed to me. You can see Simply Wooden Creations, Russell Clarity, full license.
No, it's
I think you also need to tell them we were on a live stream.
I bought it.
Maybe-
It tells you I bought it on January 16th of 2020.
maybe they'll give you the newest version for all the problems.
You
that
know
got.
what? Hold on. Maybe what I
Got
need to
everybody
do
on the
is
panel.
go help.
It just seems to me that Aspire's aspiration has expired.
No, it never expires. Now, what it does do, it only gives you so many updates, and I think it gives you like 3 updates or whatever, and then you have to start paying for the updates.
Well,
Yeah.
Maybe
How
that's
expensive are those?
maybe that's what I need to
$1,200.
do.
How much does the upgrade cost or update?
Application
Update.
has been updated and must be restarted in order to continue.
There you go.
Sure, you probably just got to
this
update
one
it.
was this update was just to change the logo on the front of it.
Well, one thing you know that Vetric is passionate about CNC.
They are.
Or to cancel abort the patch.
I think one show we should just run a movie and do like a mystery science theater thing with it.
I'll be
sit
there.
here and make fun of it.
Yes, I'll be there.
I don't know, but we all think it's funny now till we get subpoenaed saying we're being sued by.
Would be it.
You got a good point there, Donald.
Sure does.
You guys are all in YouTube jail.
Yeah, but if we have Donald, we definitely will get subpoenaed.
Yeah.
I ain't never. When am I out of Facebook jail? They don't like the truth, and they certainly don't like dirty jokes.
Donald's got the knack. Donald's got the knack.
Starting to have flashbacks to my 20s.
For all you ham radio operators, who says they've got the knack? I don't know if there's any ham radio operators out there.
Been a long time since I've been on TV.
I'll tell you what it's doing. It's not liking me to do the screen sharing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
that
let's
makes
go back
sense.
to
Mm,
Corel.
mm,
No, what I'm going to
I
do
think one of the
is-
things with Paul and I wanted to do
try
was
it with that screen share.
modify something and then do an SVG output, so we could just save it like that and then dump it into whatever we're.
All right, that's what it is. It didn't like. It kept on after I read it the last time. It was like it's not liking the screen share. It's keeping something open that it needs to have closed in order to update. So that being said, give me 1 second here. I'm going to try the Aspire update real quick. I'll go back to that. I just want to try this real quick just to say, check for updates. Yes. Next.
We still have 22 watching. You people are saints. I just want to say that.
Hmm.
Yeah, but how many of those are us?
Half of them are us. Which is what?
What, 6, 7?
Yeah, my computer's actually working to hold on to browsers.
I'm
Right now.
impressed.
Of course, I cleaned out the stuff from all them porn sites.
Sensor tube, yes, Stan Emge. You're so right. My son was a ham operator. He wrapped hundreds of them every day. The factory
Wrapped?
wrapped? Is that
Yeah, he worked for Smithfield.
wrapped?
What are we talking about? Wrapped a ham?
Austin had the same and his son.
Oh, ham up. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had our ham sets when I was in the Air Force. Yep.
Yeah, I did our Mars station at the base
There's
and mobility.
I operated some ham into.
How long y'all want to?
there's my call letters if anybody wants to try to make contact.
What do you monitor? 2 meter or 6 meter?
The question now is anybody out there?
Anything.
I think you can do most of that online.
Yeah.
I don't know if
yeah.
you still have to do code or not. The Morse.
No,
you
you
don't
don't.
have to do Morse.
The
No
technician
code.
license does not
You can
have
probably
code
get a ham
anymore.
license
Um,
easy.
I had the program up yesterday. It's called EchoLink. EchoLink has got a lot of repeaters and stuff, and it's funny because it's computer stuff. I could do similar stuff with Discord, but yet EchoLink gives you that ham radio feel. You hear the static, you hear the repeaters kicking in and out and stuff.
I think the big thing with hams now is if something drastic happens and we lose communications with each other because we can't get on the internet or whatever. We
Can you
still
see
have
my
like
screen
little
now?
Mars
Right.
stations and
Yes,
stuff.
we
Yes.
can see your stream, Russ.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
what it was. The Aspire had to be updated, and I had to have screen sharing off so that it could reload.
Well, at least you got it going. That's good.
Yes. So
Very good.
this is a file that I did in Aspire. So
Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust, all around me and everywhere. I love it flying all around my shop and even my beard and hair.
there we go. So now it is working properly. It just needed to be updated. That's
Very
pretty
good,
cool.
Russ. Very good.
So we can close our file. Now we can go back and open one of those other files that I had.
Hello, Bob Lee.
Look at there. Look, it's still doing it. Open an existing file. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to go open an existing file. Here, let's do this. Let's do the Psalms or this one. Yeah, it'll open that.
Well, work with that one.
What do you want to work?
You opened it.
It took so long to open it. You guys, you forgot what you were doing.
That's already in VCarves, though, Jim.
Yeah, this is already in VCarve. Yeah, this is already in VCarve. But I do have, I know what you're saying, though. I do have it in
Yeah, what did you originally make that in? Corel?
Corel.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find the Corel files. File open.
Al. Oh, man. I can't even remember that.
It said, hello, Jim.
Yeah, I bet it did.
It did. It did. It did. I promise.
I don't see the one with. I'll give you the shark. Pluto, moon in the back, leaves. Okay. This is a file that I did of a leaf. Okay. I don't know why I'm having problems over here. Why did it do that? All right, I'm having all kinds of problems here. Let's go back through share screen, screen one, share. Okay, this is a file I did as a leaf, and then I exported it, and let's see what it exported it as. I exported it as a leaf. It has to be an SVG file. Let's try it right now. Let's try going boom, file, dead burn it, file, export. I'm just going to put it on the desktop, and I want to export it as a DFX AutoCAD as leaves. I don't change anything here. I leave text as text, color. Just click OK. All right. So now let's go to Aspire. Actually, I should have went to VCarve, but it should do the same thing. File. I'm going to go this way. open. Go to my desktop, leaves, open. Voila. So there you have it. There must be something in those old files for some reason that they're not opening, and I don't know why.
That could be. Yeah.
Yep.
I got to find out which one of these Mark Lindsay's got. Because I know I can ask him a bunch of stupid questions. He won't embarrass me.
Now, if you want to go any further with this, don't ask me because I haven't played with this in so long. I'm going to have to go back through and start relearning it myself.
Mark
But
Lindsay actually.
I do know you can come over here and click Tool Pass, and then I can do this as a V-carve.
For a V-bit.
Yep, for a V-bit. We'll do the starting depths as 0.25. Let's just say a quarter of an inch. 60 degree.
That little window up there where you put the measurements in, that's like an advanced V-carve cut in Carbide Create.
Right. What eighth of an inch
so
is
it's got
one.
The limits.
What is an eighth of an inch? 1/8.
125.
125. Yeah, 125. Right. Okay. So calculate. Oh, well, it would help if I did this.
Yeah, if you're out in the chat and you want to learn how to use this, Mark Lindsay is like the
Yes, he is, and I will tell you that right off the bat. He is
of this
edit. Aren't you supposed to be able to trace this somehow?
Yeah, you got to close.
Well, you have to highlight.
You got to close that and select it. You have to close that and select it.
Right. You have to select it, Russ.
I am trying to select it.
But he's got to go down the bottom and hit that cancel thing. He's got his format. He's got to go hit cancel and then select it.
There it is.
But you got to select the whole thing.
Right. That was. You see how long it's been since I've used this.
Yeah.
When I get an authentic CNC instead of a piece of crap wannabe CNC.
There you go. Now you can select it because you closed that. If you want to select the whole works, you got to hold the mouse down on the right-hand bottom and drag it upward, and it'll select it all.
All right, there you go.
There you go.
And then preview selected tools pass. Voila. And that was exported as a DXF. That was cutting down an eighth of an inch, or no, yeah, an eighth of an inch. So we went from this on Corel Draw to file, export as a DXF AutoCAD, and we're able to import it over here. Yeah, I haven't used it. I haven't cut anything on that piece of crap CNC, and I'm going to say close to 2 years.
Need to get you a Shape Oko, man.
No, I'm going to get me the one that Laney Shaughnessy sells. That's
digital wood
Get
carver.
you a V-carve.
Yes.
Get you a V-carve, Russ.
You know, I'm going to get a digital wood carver. I've already talked to
those
Laney.
are good machines. Those are good machines too. Yep.
As soon as I get my laser paid off, I'm going to.
Good luck with that.
Why don't you get your
your Infinity, and then you're not dealing with belts.
The reason why they all use DXF file because you won't lose any data when you import and export it. Where other software, SVG and that, you can lose certain data. Like there might be a stem on his leaf that might be missing. Where DXF,
really?
DXF, you'll never lose the data.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yep. That's why, and all CAD programs,
And
you can
that's the
import and
problem
export
with,
it.
even though you're exporting it as an SVG, which is the next best thing because it's a vector graphic file, not a raster graphic file. So with Paul, for instance, yes, you're very much better off exporting that as an SVG and then take it in there into VCarve and using it, since you don't have DXF. DXF would be the ultimate. So file.
Anybody knows what that stands for?
Yes, drawing exchange format.
Okay.
It was developed by AutoCAD in 1982.
Yep.
1982, they made it.
When I
We
first
used
took
AutoCAD
AutoCAD
at
classes, that's what we used to save stuff in. Oh, those
we
are the
used
good old days.
AutoCAD at the steel mill.
Let's do this,
in the
Jesus.
80s. It was all DXF stuff.
Yep. Those were the good old days.
Yeah.
Having to type everything into the command prompt to get a circle or a line. You
All
couldn't
right,
just
this is
pick
a file that I had that was a scroll saw pattern. And so I imported it into Corel Draw. So once again, we're going to do File. And like I said, this is how big it is. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So we're going to do File, Export. I'll call this Jesus. Yeah,
Jesus.
Okay. Save it.
Jesús. Or para nosotros que hablamos español, Chuy.
And then we'll go over to File, Import. No, File, Open. I'm sorry. And here we have the Jesus file. No, I don't want to save my changes in there. Boom.
What if you wanted to lay another file over the top of that one? Can you do that?
You can import other stuff and add it to this, yes.
Okay, because I saw people making American flags.
Yes.
And then they would put like some text, some kind of saying or something like that on the stripes.
On the stripes, yes. You could you could actually add text to this right now.
You can import a JPEG and then trace over it and make that, you know what I'm saying? Trace over it. Over to JPEG and make whatever you want.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't used this in so long. I'm going to have to actually go back. I'll probably go to Mark Lindsay CNC over on YouTube and watch his videos to learn how to use it again.
And I have put Mark's URL to his YouTube channel in the chat.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested in that.
So you asked if I could add this. So RUSS
Enterprise.
And it added it.
RUSS.
Oh. Tiny.
Yeah, so I was able to add it to. So let's go back and select everything. Toolpath. Just go back with a VBit, same thing, everything, and tell it to calculate it. Continue anyway. This may take a few seconds. That's a big file.
Continue.
Yeah, this may take a few seconds. That's a huge file. There it goes. It's finally. Whoop.
It's gonna run a while.
Yep. We might.
There it goes. And it's no, it's not complete.
Yeah, we might want to not run this the whole way through, but yes, now you get the idea of what I'm saying. Is you can use the same thing would be. Let me just close this out. It's not going to let me close it because it's running.
Yeah, it's going to run a while.
Can you do a Control Z or Control C or something like that? Or just close it out. Yeah, that'll do it too.
Yep. I just wanted to show you though. But Paul, you're saying like this. See, I can do File, export this, and then we're going to go to
Yeah, that's the key.
SVG,
Yeah.
leaves, export. Okay. And then we'll go over to your VCarve Pro. This is an older version. Open an existing. I think I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to import that.
Yep, you got to import it.
So how do you import it? Create a new file?
You go up to File, Import, up at the top, under File, Import.
Import.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. Cancel. File. It doesn't give me import yet.
Well, that's because you just closed your sheet. You have to,
Yeah. There you
have to
go.
do it with that up. And then, okay, now go up to File, Import.
See how long it's been since I've done this?
Well,
Yeah,
after
it's
all,
kind of like anything else. If you don't, keep the skills up. it's
So
gonna
it was
back.
leaves.
Right.
And Paul, you can do everything right in VCarve Pro if you wanna.
Okay, so there you have it. It imported it.
There it is.
Yeah, the
As long as I
transfer-
don't want to modify it.
No, you can modify.
You can do that too.
I can modify this
Yep.
now.
You can do everything right in VCarve Pro.
Yes, I can
Oh,
modify
okay.
this right now.
That's why I bought it. There's nothing you can't do in there. In fact, that when he opens up his right side panel when he wants to do the carving,
Uh-huh.
I built a file called My Laser, and I use Gerbil for a post processor, and I take the Z and make it the because it's a laser. I take the rotary speed, put it at 255, and then I run it through my laser, and you can carve it on wood, or you can laser cut it out.
All right,
with
real
your
quick,
laser.
Paul, for instance, we've got this back. I just imported it, right? This is the
Yep.
SVG, right?
Yep.
All right, for instance, let's say that I want to edit this. I can edit this as in, all right, I don't want this line there. I click on that line, I tell it to delete it, or you can tell it to delete,
Yep.
it'll remove it. Okay?
Right. Right.
Control Z. Or I can click on this line and tell it node editing. I can come in here and edit the nodes.
Well, I'll have to give that a try.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you'd be better off learning just one software because you can do the whole works right in VCarve Pro.
You can actually, you can do everything in VCarve Pro that Corel Draw can do.
I'm starting to see that. Yeah,
And it's 4 times
yeah,
more
definitely.
powerful.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, with less manipulation too.
Yep.
Yes, but the problem of it being for me is it was harder for me to, because they're not the same as far as I know the controls of Corel Draw. I know them like the back of my hand, so to speak. So therefore, for me to have to learn VCarve Pro or Aspire to create an SVG would have just been nonsense, because I'll create it in 5 minutes in Corel, export it as a DXF, import it, and boom, carve it. See what I'm saying? Where it would have took me an hour to do it in VCarve Pro or Aspire because I didn't know the tools as good as I did in Corel. That's the only reason I used Corel, was just because I knew the tools hands down. Had I spent the time and the hours learning VCarve and Aspire like I knew Corel, then therefore it would have been easier for me just to create it in VCarve or Corel.
But when you look at VCarve versus the Corel, though, VCarve is like specifically targeted to throw something on a laser or a CNC.
Yes.
So everything else is stripped out of it.
Yes.
And
well, that's the same now. Let me take one more second. I know we're running late. Let me see if my wife's still here. Actually, she's still here.
That's why VCarve is so popular. It is the best, I think, in my opinion.
She hasn't left me over there. So, just one quick thing, and I just want to share this. Share screen. Let's share this one again. Share. Get this out of the way. Go back here.
Yeah.
No. That's another thing about Lightburn. Lightburn is the software for the laser. Okay. A newer version's available. I understand that, but Lightburn's the same way. You can design anything in here and their nodes the same way as getting tired. Oh, I was talking to my wife.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No, because I'm in here in the room and I didn't want to make sure she didn't want to say, hey, it's time for me to go to bed, you know. But you see, I can do the same thing here and create stuff. And one thing great about Lightburn, which I really like, is, for instance, let's say that this square, these are all layers. You have up to 29 different layers. So say this first layer here, I want to come in and I want to, the speed is 100, maximum power 20. Tell it, okay. Then I want to do this layer. I want to change this to the second layer. And I want to do this instead of a line. I want to do this as a fill. And I want to do this at 50 speed and 50 power. So when I tell it, you can add up to 29 layers. So what it's going to do, it's going to engrave this as a line at 100 speed, 20 power. Then it's going to come back and do that as a fill at 50 speed, 50 power. So Lightburn software is every bit as good as Aspire or, as far as I'm concerned, VCarve.
Is the software Lightburn for the laser, is it as expensive as the others? Or?
No, and that's the great thing about Lightburn. Lightburn software, this software right here is only $40.
Cool.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
$40.
See,
Hey,
The reason
Lightburn-
why I say that is because I was looking to upgrade to this, but I'd have to get a new controller board that supported a higher level of Gerbil
Right.
than the one that came with the K40.
But it's only $40, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
Can't
it
you
actually
put a
costs,
camera on it too, and it'll scan
Yes.
an image on it.
yes, I have a camera
Yeah.
set up on my little laser. I didn't put one on the big one.
I did. I
yeah,
thought it was like
Lightburn is
140.
so attractive because it's a CAD CAM program. It's
Yeah.
both you can do the CAD work in there, plus it's the post processor
That's
that
what I
makes the
wondered.
G code.
That's what I wanted.
Now,
Why you
mine,
want to use Lightburn?
If you notice, mine over here is set up for Gerbil Com1 because it was the first laser, the little laser I had. My other laser is a Rudy, however you want to say it, controller.
Yeah.
So I actually, and it will allow you to use more than one laser. So if I click on this on my laptop that it's installed, it has both lasers there, and I can choose either or laser, and it'll just change. Everything changes to the Rudy controller from my big laser.
Gerbil. I thought y'all said gerbils at first.
It's called GRBL. It's
Yeah.
just the code. It's the interpretation of the name of the code that it uses. It uses a G code. All it does to send the information to the laser to cut.
I just figured there's little furry critters in there doing stuff.
Yeah. There's a newer version.
But
of it,
this
though,
is
so you gotta-
Lightburn software, and it
yeah.
is very, very powerful. Very, very
Yeah.
powerful.
It's like
even has-
$40. That's pretty.
It's not. Yeah, it's only $40.
That's
Jim,
nice.
do you have a CAD program that you're really good in that you use all the time for drafting and drawing? Because if you do, you just get Laser Gerbil and download it. It's totally free and it's excellent for a laser or your
Yeah.
CNC.
Laser Gerbil.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's
Laser Gerbil's
totally
good,
free
too.
and it's an excellent software and it's
I'll have
for
to check into it.
it'll work for your CNC and you import all your stuff. You can import JPEGs and it'll do it. Automatically convert them.
Yep. That's a good software too.
Okay.
Laser Gerbil. I started
Yeah, I'll
off with
look at
that,
it.
but I liked Lightburn better. It's one. All right. Lightburn is a step up above, or Lightburn's a step up above Laser Gerbil, like Inkscape Corel is to Inkscape.
Yeah, and you have a Cadillac now, so now it makes sense to own Lightburn.
Yeah,
Where with a little diode laser, it's
Laser
like
Gerbil would do just as good.
yeah, yes, it's like putting junk tires on a Cadillac. Well, now you have a good laser, so you get the top notch, which will use all them.
Donald Laser Gerbil, if you got a laser, is free. It comes with the laser itself.
And it takes the JPEGs and all these other files, and it automatically converts them. You just got to click a couple settings what you want to burn, how you want to burn it. If you want to pulse width modulation or dither it, that's all you have to do.
Yep. All right, guys.
You getting all this, Chris?
What?
Are you getting all this?
Chris, you're talking too much, man.
Now,
He got a couple of beers.
I mean, I used to be able to use Aspire fluently, but I haven't used it. I haven't used that piece of crap's Orange CNC in 2 years. I just got tired of messing with it. Every time I would use it and I go to use it again, I'd have to fix problems, adjust and stuff to get to use it, and I just got tired of it. So only reason I bought the laser before I bought the digital wood carver CNC is because actually, since I have the laser, I'm almost thinking about not buying a CNC because the laser is just, I can cut so deep with that 80 watt into 3/4 inch material. I can go down 3/8 of an inch into 3/4 of an inch material that it's almost like a CNC machine within itself.
You got to leave for your other job, Al?
Yeah, I do.
So
A side hustle.
Now I think Russ is going to wrap it up, right, Russ?
I'm wrapping it up. Yeah, I'm wrapping it up. All right, guys. Thank you for
Keep
being.
forgetting
I hope
the
we didn't
guitar.
bore you to death tonight. And sorry I haven't been able to. I didn't show this off before, but I'll show it off.
well, we got to get out of here before Al starts singing.
Yep. I did make this little on my laser. I did make this little
cool.
box on my laser.
That's beautiful, Russ.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about laser, man. You can make little stuff like that goes together.
And it's just so easy. Look at the engraving on the top. That is like so cool. So,
Oxy said it was a great show. He understood everything except the part after good evening and welcome to the show. Other than that, he was totally fine with
all
it.
right, guys. We're out of here. Listen, if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, you're just too darn busy. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
Good night, everyone. Remember, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
What Chris said, live long
See
and
you.
prosper, everyone.